Need to locate a leak? We can perform a sewer leak location/isolation to determine the location of a plumbing leak under a concrete slab. Find the service you need right here at In-House Plumbing Company, where serving you is our business.
Okay, now we're going to talk about a sewer leak isolation, where there is a leak under the slab and we are going to actually isolate or locate where the leak or leaks are. Okay? What we're going to assume on this house is that there are two leaks. And we are going to assume that those two leaks, before we start, are at this kitchen sink area and at this bathroom area. Actually at the commode. Okay? So that's where our leaks are going to be. That's what we are going to show you how we are going to find. So erase that. Okay, so we have our kitchen sink, we have our washing machine, we have our bathrooms, our other bathroom, and our main line cleanouts in the front. Okay, and the way this is going to work is we can first, what we're going to do first is test this area back here. Okay, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to place a test ball into the line right here. Okay? By doing that and airing that ball up with air, we will be able to test this section of line to determine if it leaks. Okay? We would fill it up with water. Okay? From back there. So this line would then have water in it. Okay? We would fill it up with water. And for our illustration here, no leak. This section would show no leak. Okay? Now, how we actually get the test ball in there and all of that doesn't really matter for this illustration, but we can place a test ball right here in just about every case and be able to determine that there is no leak back here in this section of line. At that point, we would remove that test ball and start another test, which in this case, what we would do is then move the test ball just a little bit and place the test ball right here. Okay? You see now what we are able to do by doing that is test all of these lines. We already know there's no leak back here. Okay? So now we are able to, just by moving the test ball just a little bit, we're able to test these lines. Okay? And at that point, and because of our setup information, we said there's a leak over here, so this would now show a leak. This section would now show that there is a leak. Okay, now what we have to do is go track down where this leak is. We can leave this test ball in here, just like it is, so that we don't lose this water. We can then go and place another test ball right here, okay, which would be most likely what we would do. We could place a test ball at the washing machine as well, but likely we would place a test ball first at the kitchen sink in this illustration. We place that test ball at the kitchen sink, and because we said there was a leak at the kitchen sink earlier, there would then be a leak. And we would know that the leak is at the kitchen sink. At that point, because we did not remove the water from this line, we would then go back to our commode that was removed, and we're observing the water at that floor flange back there in the back for this illustration to be able to determine that there wasn't any leaks back here. We would then go back to this spot, fill this up with water again with this leak blocked off, and that then tells us that there are no leaks in this section of line. Okay? There would then be no leaks in this section of line. At that point, we would remove this test ball because we now know that there are no leaks anywhere else back here except for at the kitchen sink. We would then place the test ball right here at the edge of the house. Okay? And at this point, we would then test the entire system with water to see if there are any other leaks than the leak at the kitchen sink. Okay? So we would then be testing all of the lines under the house, except for our kitchen sink, which is again blocked off. Okay? At that point, as we know from our preliminary information, we have a leak over here. Okay? So we would then know that it would show a leak in the lines. At that point, the only possibility for where the leak is, based on the fact that we've already tested this and showing there's no leaks, is there's got to be a leak in this line or in this line under this bathroom, etc. Okay? So, at this point, we would then place a test ball. We can leave our test ball in there. We can leave our test ball here. We've got all this water in the line, so no sense in taking it out of the line. Okay? We would then place a test ball right here. And we would for sure do this based on what we know. Okay? This would be our next point of entry. We would place a test ball right here, and we would then test just what's under that bathroom. At that point, you are testing basically the commode and the tub in that bathroom. The lavatory goes into the wall, so we're not even testing what's in the wall there. You would test just the lavatory and the commode. Because of our pre-information, we know that there is a leak in that area. So we would then determine that there is a leak here. At that point, we would again test everything except for this bathroom, which would be blocked off, and this bathroom, or this kitchen, okay, which is blocked off. We would be able to test everything. At that point, it would show no leaks because we found our 2 leaks that we said we had, okay, and we would say that nothing leaks except for the kitchen and the bathroom. Now, one important note. In doing a leak location like this, it is always possible that you could come back during the repairs, fix these 2 leaks, and there would be additional leaks here that occurred during or between the time that you did the leak location. There could be a situation where water the dirt could be oversaturated around the actual pipes itself, so maybe there is a leak in here, but it's very, very slow, but it doesn't show a leak because it's not allowing any more water to get out. You know, all kinds of things like that. So we always say that until we do the final repair and then we test the system after that repair, we never want to guarantee 100% to somebody that there couldn't be or wouldn't be an additional leak. Okay? But basically, the overwhelming majority of the times, when we would say there was a leak here and a leak here, we'd go in there and fix those, and there would be nothing else. Okay? Our goal when we do a leak location is to find all of the leaks. Some companies out there, what they'll do is they'll find this leak, that's it, and leave. Okay? We did several other steps after we found this leak to make sure that we tried to find every leak that's under that house, so that we know everything when we come back and actually do the repairs. In some situations, you may not be able to get a test ball down this line and put it right here. You might not be able to get a test ball here. You might not be able to get a test ball into this spot in some situations. At that point, it could mess up the possibility of us doing that isolation and or doing that isolation properly. Also, in some points, if you had a leak here and a leak here and a leak at the kitchen and a leak at the bathroom, you would not be able to determine if there are any other leaks in that house because all of your under slab water level observation points are now gone. There's no place where you can observe the water level from. At that point, we would have to say there's 4 leaks and this areas, all of these pipes would not be able to be tested, which means we would have to repair those leaks, retest the system again after that to determine if there are any other leaks. Okay, so those are kind of some of the situations that can happen. There are a lot of other possibilities when doing this. One other very, very, very important note. As you noticed, during this process, we are using test balls with air hoses attached to them. We are actually inflating that ball in the line to block off the system to be able to fill this system with water to determine if there are any leaks. The only proper way, I cannot stress that enough, the only proper way to find out if there's a leak in the sewer system under a slab is to fill it up with water. If you fill that section of pipe up with water and it leaks, the water level drops, okay? There's a leak, okay? If you fill that section of pipe up with water and it does not drop, there is no place for water to go, there's no leak. Using a camera, a sewer camera, as a primary leak location tool is very improper. It is not the right way to do leak detection. Many companies, a lot of companies in Dallas, only use a camera to locate leaks. And what they do is they send the camera in there in different spots and look for things that don't look good. They look for, what they'll tell you they're doing is looking for leaks. But really what they're doing is looking for something that doesn't look right. Okay? What may look like a leak, most likely, is not a leak. And vice versa. So all we really care about is it leaking or not? The only way to determine if it's leaking or not is to fill it up with water. Okay? And so that is a very, very, very important note. What we actually do in the process of doing our leak locations is we use rubber inflatable test balls with air hoses attached to them, but we also use a camera to aid us in the process or assist us in the process of putting the test balls where we want them to be. We can use the camera to know where we need to put our test balls in the line, etc. Okay, we can send a camera in here and determine that this is a fitting. We can see that fitting with the camera. We can put the test ball on this side of it. We can put the test ball on this side of it because we know where that fitting is with what we see on the camera. Okay, so that is a very, very, very important note. Cameras should not be used as primary leak location tools. Make sure if you need a leak located that you talk to the contractor that you are discussing with to make sure that they do it. It's called hydrostatic sewer leak isolation. That's what we do. Hydrostatic sewer leak isolation, where you're using test balls and cameras. Thank you.